Hello and welcome to part 3 of 5 of an introduction to genetics, covering components of the Alberta Science 30 curriculum unit to the biology unit. Do you have mid-digit hair? So do you have hair on your knuckles? If you do not, you have the homozygous recessive genotype. If you do, you have at least one dominant gene for having hairy knuckles. But how do you know if you are big H little h or little h little h? A test cross is used to determine the unknown genotype of an individual expressing the dominant characteristic. For example, if a pea plant is tall, the genotype could be big T or big T little t. There's only one way to find out. You cross the unknown plant with a homozygous recessive plant and examine the offspring produced. So here is your homozygous recessive, here is your unknown. It could be big T, it could be big T little t. If it's big T, all of your results should be tall plants. The phenotype should all be tall plants. That would indicate that the unknown would have two dominant alleles that would mask your recessive allele. All genotypes would be heterozygous or big T little t. You would not have any short offspring. If, on the other hand, you did a test cross and it turned out that you got two tall plants and two short plants, if your phenotypic ratio would be 2 to 2 or 1 to 1, one tall plant to one short plant, your genotype would be one heterozygote to one homozygote recessive, and you would see short offspring. This would indicate that your unknown was heterozygote rather than a pure tall. If some recessive individuals show up, the genotype of the unknown must be heterozygous or big T little t. If no recessives show up, the genotype is probably homozygous dominant. So here's another test cross. You have a homozygous recessive or white flower crossed with an unknown purple. So we know it's purple. It could be either two dominant alleles or one dominant and one recessive allele. If all the offspring are purple, we know that the unknown flower is homozygous for the dominant allele. If you have half purple, half white, we know that the unknown is heterozygous for the dominant allele. One dominant allele, one recessive allele. Sheep ranchers like producing white wool. It's easier to dye and less brittle than black. White is dominant, black is recessive. If a farmer suspects that a white sheep in a herd are heterozygous, what can they do? A farmer may find out for certain by crossing suspected carriers with homozygous recessive or black sheep. If some black sheep offspring show up, then the sheep was a carrier for black wool, so the sheep was heterozygous. These sheep make better meat, so they would eat the black wooled sheep